one. Who? Manchester. Manchester United.
This is VanCam. This is VanCam. You waited for.
Yes, Steve. Nice one, mate. Change as well. A tenner. I give you 20 quid, Steve. Get back. Bastards had me again. Oh, and it's tea. I wanted a mocha chocolate, man. How are you doing, everybody? I am Kev Ashford, and you are very welcome to this week's edition of the ManUtd VanCam. Hope everybody is well. Two good results for Manchester United, beating Leicester at home 1-0, and most recently Astana in the Europa League, which is home of Borat. Few people disappointed with the way that United set about that game, but I think you can only take positives when you consider we did give them a bloody good chance of winning by playing Phil Jones, and we still get away with it, winning 1-0. Obviously the big news, Mason Greenwood getting that goal. He becomes United's youngest European scorer of all time, taking that accolade from the late great Georgie Best, which in itself is pretty goddamn impressive. So we've got things to look forward to future wise. It's always going to be a rebuilding job under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I just want to say a big thanks very quickly. This is the Super Chat Appreciation Society. So we got Dan Wills Gaming, the Conman, David Conreen and Dave Birtwhistle. Thank you very much. I couldn't make the live video last week to watch it. I was at some golf night or something, pissing around. Don't play golf, but where there's drink involved, Kev is there. So I hope everybody is well. Coming up this week, we're going to be looking at comments that Paul Scholes has made about Paul Pogba. We're going to be seeing David De Gea. Do you think he's worth 375 grand a week after signing that new 5-year deal? CockStroker of the week will be in there. We'll do obviously the big VanCam debate, and we'll have a look at a few comments from last week. So I hope you are all bloody well. Okay, so Manchester United news this week is that Paul Pogba has been attacked by Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes slams Paul Pogba. We don't know how he slammed him. Was it a body slam? Who cares? Anyway, Paul Pogba has come in for it basically. Paul Scholes, who never said a word for 20 odd years whilst playing for Man United, definitely has found his voice, and he's not afraid of holding back. And in this instance, I can't say that I disagree with him. He told TalkSport in an interview, I think it's quite clear he wants to leave the club. He wanted to move to Real Madrid, and for whatever reason, it didn't happen. If they ask him to stay for a year, then we'll see what happens. But I don't think it will be a big loss to United if he does go. And you cannot argue with any of that. We're getting to the stage now, we only want players who want to play for the shirt. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's three main targets this season were to sign Harry Maguire, Wan-Bissaka and Dan James. He got them through the door. They've been United's three best standout players this season so far. It's the reason I keep saying give him time. Imagine another window now, bringing another 2 or 3 players in if he can get it into that mindset. But for me, Paul Pogba, he's here, he's along for the journey, and I do think he's bad for the dressing room and that. It might sound harsh and stuff, but I do think that money, if we can recoup anything near what we paid for him, which we should do, because he's under contract at United, if Real Madrid or someone's daft enough to pay big dollars for him, then you just reinvest it. You bring somebody into the club who wants to actually play for Manchester United. So what do you lot reckon? Do you agree with Paul Scholes' comments? Or are you going to be one of these Pogba fanboys? Maybe you even think that Paul Pogba's a racist. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's actually come out with that. But yes, anyway, that's the big sort of news this week. Obviously, David De Gea has signed a new 5-year deal at Man United, which is absolutely mint, man. Best bit of business we've done this season. That's what I think. Which something we will be looking at in the big VanCam debate on the Paul Scholes slams Paul Pogba thing. Make sure you drop a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Do you think that Paul Scholes is right? Maybe you do think he is wrong. You know, everyone's got an opinion. Get involved in that. It's great to be back in the saddle. Friday's what it's all about. ManUtd VanCam. Right, so with that in mind, we will get straight into the first segment of the show, which is the big VanCam debate. So get your seatbelt on, buckle up and all that for the ride. It's the big VanCam debate.
The big VanCam debate.
Okay, so this is the Big VanCam Debate. Last week's Big VanCam Debate was on the topic of England walking off the pitch against Bulgaria if English players are racially abused. Now, I was asking the question, would you be for or against the players making a stand of solidarity and walking off the pitch together? It really did get you going, this one. The voting was close up until a certain stage and there was a flurry of votes, but loads of good comments as well. I mean, ultimately my message was that if you walk off the pitch, they've won, the racists have won. But at the same time, I can understand why people would think the first time a team has ever walked off like this, it will make a huge, stand against racism. Yeah, that's what it is. So without me talking too much shit, I can confirm that 65% of the vote went for no. They did not think walking off the pitch was the thing to do if players are racially abused. So that brings me on to this week's Big VanCam Debate. Now, we know that David De Gea has signed a new 5-year contract at Manchester United, which sees him pocketing around, well, reportedly 375 grand a week. It's not bad for a week's work, saving a few balls and all that, yeah, keeping the sticks, doing all that stuff anyway. But my question this week, basically, is De Gea worth 375 grand a week? There will be two sides to this argument. There'll be a lot of people who think it's far too much for a goalkeeper. Personally, I think it's the best bit of business that Man United have done this summer, and I'll tell you why, basically. Because if David De Gea had have walked away from his contract at the end of this season on a free, it leaves Man United looking for a goalkeeper, and we know the daft prices that Man City, Liverpool have paid, Chelsea, for these keepers. So Man United would have had to go into the market and try and source a world-class keeper, which is going to cost you roughly around 80 to 100 million pounds. And this is where United are starting to go back to being run properly like a football club. Now, we know business-wise they're all right. Over the years, they have made mistakes, notably very recently. You think of players like Di Maria and that. But for me, the turning point, the tipping point, was United's refusal to sign Dybala from Juventus. Rumoured to be wanting about 350 grand a week. United stepped away from that and said no. It was obviously they looked at him. Do you want to play for United, or are you just there for the money? And he was obviously wanted the money, and he never left. He stayed at Juventus. And for me now, we want players that are hungry. Dan James is an absolute class example of this. 15 million he's cost. He's been one of United's best players this season. He's running the show. He's setting an example for other players. So David De Gea, is he worth 375 grand a week? You've got to take into consideration, like I said earlier, if we lose him on a free transfer, we've got to go into the market, we're going to spend 80 to 100 million. So United have realised that, obviously. They've decided to give him 375 grand a week, basically because they can, but because the cost of trying to source a new keeper would be too high. But there might be people who think, we could have given that to Dybala, we could have got him in, he could have been scoring the goals, what's all this pissing around giving a keeper 375 grand a week? To me, David De Gea is still the best keeper in the world. I've not got the red tinted specs on. Yes, he's had a bit of a rough time, made a few mistakes and that, but I'm just glad he's staying at United. Make sure you get voting. Click on the eye up here, you can get involved, let me know what you are thinking on this. Make sure you also leave a comment. And as always, there is no sitting up on that fence. If you sit up on the fence, you get splinters in your arse. And then, have you tried getting splinters out your arse with tweezers? No, so you have to ask somebody else. Mum, can you get these splinters out my arse with the tweezers? And then she's obviously going to say, well, how do you get splinters in your arse? And you have to say, I sat on the fence. And she'll say, no, I'm not taking them out. You shouldn't have sat on the fence. You should have made a decision. Nice one. The Big VanCam Debate. That was the Big VanCam Debate. Make sure you get involved, cast your vote. And oh yes, I've still got the t-shirt on, man. It's been on for a week. A special thank you again to Urban Vandal Clothing. The link is in the description. If you want to look like Kev, well, you could get a t-shirt to look like me, but unless you get a head transplant, then you're not going to be a beautiful specimen of a man like me. Yeah. But yeah, thanks again. I mean, it smells of hard work and beer, so probably stick it in the wash tonight anyway, give it its first wash. Next up, we're going to do a thing called CockStroker of the Week. There's loads of bellends out there. If you've got anyone you want to nominate, just drop me a holler, whatever they say, the kids and all that shit, and I'll do my best to get it in there if it makes the cut. So let's do CockStroker of the Week. The CockStroker of the Week. Sun's out, guns out, get the hot dog buns out. Yes, this is CockStroker of the Week. It's my job to inform you who has taken top spot this week. So without further ado, I've compiled a top 5 and I'm not going to hesitate. I'm going to jump straight in there. Number 5 is Unai Emery. This is because Unai Emery has decided that Mesut Ozil needs a rest. So he won't be playing midweek because he needs a rest. Yes, a rest. The man that has played 71 minutes this season. Oh, it's a grueling schedule for the goggle-eyed bastard. And for that reason, Emery gets number 5. Basically, this dickhead is picking up 350 grand a week. God, I thought it was tough being a United fan at the minute. It must be really tough being an Arsenal fan. Number 4 is another Arsenal dickhead, and it's Granit Xhaka, who is actually Arsenal's captain at the moment. If you were unlucky enough to watch Watford against Arsenal, you would have found an hilarious set of circumstances. Don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, basically Arsenal trying to play out from the back. Oh, we want to play the Guardiola way. Yeah, it's not really working though, is it? And one thing you have to do, if the building up from the back, playing out from the back ain't working, mix it up, do you know what I mean? Go direct, try and bypass the back four. Kev knows his shit. We used to try and play this way for the Fiddler's Green back in the early 2000s, but it was too technical, man. Half of us had only had about half an hour's sleep and stuff like that. People didn't even have any sleep back in them days. What days they were. But we couldn't do what the manager wanted us to do, so you at least mix it up. But to my surprise, after the match, Granit Xhaka admits Arsenal looked scared. This coming from an Arsenal player, this from a team that used to have Petit and Vieira in the centre of the park. Can you ever imagine Patrick Vieira saying he was scared? Apart from that time when Roy Keane nearly knocked shit out of him in the tunnel. I'll see you out there on the pitch, you big bastard. Yeah, so for that reason, Xhaka comes in at number 4.
Until the last, we didn't play our game anymore. We were scared. We know.
Number 3 is them big bunch of bellends, the Juventus Ultras. Now this is because a story has surfaced that the Ultras have been arrested over allegations they blackmailed officials for tickets. Basically, police in Italy arrested 12 Ultra fans over allegations including blackmail and extortion. Now this was because they wanted big blocks of the stadium, all together seats. They wanted them at cut ticket prices so that they could then sell them on and basically make a shitload of money. So basically they're just like glorified ticket touts, but they've got a bit of muscle, do you know what I mean? They're a mafia. But anyway, they've been arrested, but to my surprise, the big thing about this story is they actually blackmailed their own club, Juventus, by claiming that if they didn't receive these tickets, they would racially abuse the next team that played against Juventus. So, you know, for the team that they love so much, they hold the club to ransom and they're a bunch of racists at the same time. What a song! If you're chicken. Anyway, this is number 2. Throw me this. Anyway, basically this week it is a bit dominated by the Italians and racism. This week, number 2 comes in and it is the Italian FA. I did say last week that the Cagliari fans basically made monkey chants, threw bananas on the pitch before Lukaku tried taking a penalty for Inter Milan, which he later dispatched. Fair play to him. But yes, we've got the verdict this week and the Italian FA will not be charging Cagliari, is that how you say it? I think it is. They've escaped punishment. Basically because the Italian FA decided the noises were not discriminatory. Yeah, that basically means that they didn't think there was anything wrong with it. Again, them shower of bastards at the Italian FA bury their head in the sand and say, we don't have a problem with racism here. Well, yes you do, you pizza-eating pasta bastards. Number one this week goes to another racist. Honestly, and there's an Italian connection, of course there is. Italian football pundit sacked for racist on-air comment about Romelu Lukaku. Getting it tight, that man over there, I tell you. Luciano Passirani appeared on Top Calcio 24. Pronunciations off the scale here, man, I'm on form. He said of the Inter Milan frontman, the only way to come up against him is maybe give him 10 bananas to eat. Have you ever heard anything so racist in all your life? I'll play the clip after this, but basically the old dinosaur, 80 years old he is, he's basically been sent off. He's sacked from ever appearing on Italian TV, and rightly so. At least the Italian TV is taking a stand against it. Next up, the Italian FA. They should be looking into all the scandal, the shit and the fuckery that's going on in their league. That, my friends, is CockStroker of the Week.
E poi questo ti trascina la squadra, questo nell'1 contro 1 ti uccide, se gli vai contro cadi per terra, o c'hai 10 banane qui per mangiare che gliele dai, se no...
CockStroker of the Week. Another week, another shower of twats on CockStroker of the Week. If you want to nominate anyone, get in touch. All the usual stuff is up here, that's how you can find me. Maybe you've got a sister who strokes... Anyway, you know what I mean? You might know someone who's been a cockstroker, so let me know. If the nomination makes the cut, then obviously you get the accreditation for it. Right, we're going to end with your comments. I've not done this for the last couple of weeks. Apologies for that. Man is very busy, so let's just put that to bed now and move on, yeah, as a team, as the VanCam team, and let's have a look at a selection of comments. It's your comments. Alrighty then, here we go with your comments. Darren Hopkinson seems to be a new VanCam regular, said, thanks Kev, love your vids man, gives me something to look forward to at the end of a hard week, keep it up, come on United. Fair play to you, Darren. I try very hard, put a lot of effort into VanCam, and I do feel the love back. I just hope that it becomes a big part of everybody's Friday night, because Friday night telly's pretty dog shit. And I know some people will say, Kev, so's VanCam, but the majority like what's going on, and I'm hoping to do more live stuff. I know I've flirted with the idea, did throw it out there. I've done a few trial runs that were private. Just want to make sure that once I do it, it's, you know, the dog's bollocks basically. So yeah, you'll all be the first to hear when it does go out. I'll keep you informed. John Vallandigham, I'm not worthy, mate. He said politics have no place in football or any sports. Just do the job, your job, the best of your ability. Wise words from Sir John Vallandigham. This was obviously on last week's Big VanCam Debate, where we were asking, should the England team walk off the pitch if players are racially abused against Bulgaria? So, I mean, Vallandigham sums it up there. Politics have no place in football or any sports. Nice one, sir. Gaz D, don't know why I said it like that, said, easy now, Kev. Mint as usual. Loving the frist. You got the link for him. Never die, Gazdy. Oh, the t-shirt. Yeah, if you want to get your t-shirt, make sure you look at the link in the description. There's loads of different ones, man. There's a Georgie Best one. You know, there's, like I said last week, music kind of shit. There's even a Biggie Smalls one, for Christ's sake. Get in there. Urban Vandal Clothing. Paul Michael Jarvis was in the comment section. He said, you look a bit like King Eric on that t-shirt, Kev. And Jason D'Souza sent this in. He said, how was your date at Kevin Ashford 7? You two look so cute together. What? Twastard, Jason D. Bastard Souza. Suzanne Bastard Boyle. I tell you what you've done. I know what you've done there. I know that picture. That was, or should be, my wife in that picture, and somehow you cropped her out. Well, listen here, sunshine. She's originally from Derry, so you know what I mean. She's connected. She knows people. So bad things could happen to you, man. You Twastard for even having the audacity to insinuate that I would be the kind of person that I'd hang around with Susan Boyle. She's got a great voice though. Okay, so another week goes by, another VanCam passes us by. Thank you very much to everybody who's been watching live. It always makes me day just to sit there. It's mad, innit? Just sit there, and it's the comments really. It's big, do you know what I mean? I don't get out much more anymore, so my Friday night's sitting in front of a computer and talking to people over the internet, which, you know what I mean? I'm a modern day man. That's what the kids do, so Kev is doing it. So this week we are playing West Ham away. This could, on paper, it's going to be a bit of a tricky tie, but you know, we go there, we've got confidence. Greenwood's in the squad, hopefully. We don't know about injuries and stuff. I've not had a look into that, but what I will do for you is a come on United, because we win when Kev does this, yeah? And I forgot to do it the other week. We drew with Southampton, which somebody did point out in the comments section. So for United on Sunday, come on United! I said your love, keep on lifting me higher and higher. Nice one for watching the video. And thanks to everybody who has subscribed to VanCam. You can follow me on all the usual social media platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Plenty of Fish. So make sure you give me a follow. Nice one if you dropped a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. This is VanCam. Nice one.